Hi, I'm Christa Jacobson, headmistress of the Budo, where we teach authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu. For those of you guys who don't know what that is, those are the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai. Today in this lesson, we're going to talk about the kanji Bu. Now, this particular kanji has its essence and meaning and origins, and we're going to get into that a little bit. One of my students who's in the Budo online ninjutsu dojo asked an absolute excellent question. He says, Sensei, if the purpose or the meaning of Bu is to deflect the spear or to prevent conflict, then when is the appropriate time to fight? And that is an absolute excellent question. As many of you guys know, the kanji Bu generally within the martial art community means war or warrior. So we see the two words that you see a lot within Japanese martial arts is Budo, which means the warrior way, or the way of war. Or we have a Bujutsu, which is warrior technique, the art of the warrior, warrior arts, art of war, depends on how you use it in a sentence. But the words Budo and Bujutsu is used all the time in Japanese martial arts. It doesn't matter whether you're doing Gendai Budo, which are the modern martial arts after 1868, or Koru Bujutsu, which is the ancient martial arts of the ninja and samurai that were utilized previous to 1868. Now, when you talk about the kanji Bu, okay, the kanji is created by two older ideograms, and I'm going to write them down for you real quick, okay? So this first ideogram here is called tomorrow, and it means to prevent. So, and I'm going to put, looks like that. And see that? Yep, prevent. Okay, and then we have this one right here, and this is called hoko. And this kanji means conflict. There we go. So, tumaru and hoko. So this kanji means to prevent, and this kanji means conflict. Now, when you take these two kanji and you put them together, you get the kanji Bu. And this is understood as warrior or war, but generally it's understood as warrior. Okay. And there we go. So, tumaru, hoko, prevent conflict, and you put these two older Chinese ideograms together, and you get the kanji Bu. And this is the same kanji that we see in, hold on one second, we have Budo, which means the way of the warrior, right? Or the warrior way. Or you get Bujutsu, which is the warrior arts or the art of war. And again, it's all dependent on how or you put that into a sentence. So now that I've done that, I'm going to put my clipboard down. All right, so when you look at its purpose, okay, so the purpose is the original meaning is to prevent conflict, or some people say it's to deflect the spear, right? How does that tie into the samurai warfare? How does it tie into someone who's a professional soldier who dedicates themselves to the art of war, killing on the battlefield and to kill for a daimyo? It's almost like it's this, I'm sure you guys have seen the Chinese yin and yang sign, or yin and yo within Japanese philosophy. And it does have that type of dynamic to it. If you are a samurai, you're paid to soldier, and you're given your skills to your lord. And the idea is to be able to protect your land. So I'm sure in the modern day you guys hear things that say things like the only way to stop bad people that bring extreme violence is to have good people who are highly trained at violence. And I'm sure you guys have seen some similar type of memes like that on social media and so on and so forth. But it's so true. The only way to stop bad people who are highly violent is to have good people highly skilled and trained in the art of violence. And when you think about this idea to prevent conflict or to deflect the spear, that same idea has to be there, because it is the same purpose, it's the same essence and same meaning. So when you think of that, you get this idea of, if someone was to come into our land, if you were a particular lord of or a daimyo of a certain domain, certain prefecture, if someone was to come into our domain and tried to overthrow our land or take over our villages and take the women and the kids and all that kind of stuff. The objective is to prevent that conflict. Now, sometimes you have to prevent conflict by a preemptive strike. So, of course, sometimes daimyo did that so they could take over more land, and that ensured them less war. They would have more land and to provide more for the people of this particular prefecture. But the samurai's job, in its sense, is to be able to prevent conflict coming into the domain, or to prevent conflict that would have any harm to the family. When you talk about deflecting the spear, well, who would be the one to deflect a spear? A warrior. I mean, when you think of someone who is deflecting a spear on the battlefield, you don't necessarily think of a craftsman or a merchant or a geisha. You think of a samurai, you think of a warrior. So when you have the kanji for bu, the people who are out there trying to prevent conflict from coming into your domain, or who are deflecting the spear, it's where you get this kanji bu. They are the ones who are the warriors. They are the ones going to war to protect what it is that they have. Now, the individual that asked this question, Sensei, if this essence of the original meaning was to prevent conflict or to deflect the spear, I want to say something about this particular student. This student served in the military, is absolutely not a novice when it comes to war or the idea of it. So this isn't someone that is uneducated when it comes to like modern military procedure. That's for sure. Served in the United States military and understands the mentality of that. So his question wasn't in relation towards that. His question was, if you take Tumaru and Hoko to prevent conflict, how the hell do you get that into samurai who are, cutting off people's heads and, and all this kind of ninja who are out there spying and assassinating people and blowing shit up? How does it go together? That's how it goes together. There really is this concept of, you could think of as, it's not quite ura and emote, but it's definitely yin and yo. There's definitely like the light and the dark. There's always the shadow with everything. And the idea of samurai preventing conflict from coming in, the only way they can do that is to be highly skilled at violence, to be highly skilled at war, to be highly skilled warriors ready for battle to prevent conflict from coming in, and or to go out and to take over land to make sure that conflict doesn't come in, to protect the people themselves, the land, and the people that they love. So the question then remains is, well, when is it a good time to get into a fight? That's the $1,000,000 question that I think every martial art teacher has to answer, right? And for some of you guys who are on my channel, you guys are martial art teachers too. You have students, right? Isn't that not the $1,000,000 question that they always ask? When's the right time to, knock this dude out, Sensei? Well, first and foremost, I wanted to say that fighting is always the last answer. To pick a fight, I think it's ridiculous. And this isn't a shot to anybody who's, a tournament fighter or MMA fighter or kickboxer and all that kind of stuff. I mean, I'll be the first one to tell you, when I was younger, I dabbled in those kind of things as well. But it just wasn't something that I really got into, other than me being young and doing those sort of things. As I got older, I recognized that the only thing we have in life is time. And when our time is up, we're up. That's it. And I'm not going to be remembered as being some, MMA fighter and all that kind of stuff. Even if I tried to start today, it's not going to be like, my legacy. That's for sure. So, and again, not that that's a bad thing for the people that enjoy that kind of thing, but if you're studying the ancient ways of the samurai and ninja, if you're going to study Koru Bujutsu and Koru Ninjutsu, then you really understand that you're training for the purpose of to protect yourself and to protect the ones that you love, to protect what it is that you love, and to not let a higher power, whether it's the government or otherwise, just take over and take what it is that you have. I mean, that goes against what it is that we're training for. So when you're training in these arts, and again, Koru Bujutsu, Koru Ninjutsu, if you are in imminent danger and you have to fight, then fight. If someone is hurting someone that you love, or you're trying to protect, then you fight. If someone is trying to take something from you and something of your loved ones, you don't let them. But if someone isn't physically hurting you, fighting is probably not the correct answer. If someone is not physically hurting the people that, or the people that you love and trying to protect, well, then fighting is probably not the right answer. Again, fighting is always the last answer. I would never tell someone to just go and fighting is going to be the end-all be-all solution to the problem. I don't believe that. There's always better ways. There's other things you can do first before you get into the fight. And one thing I can tell you, with all the years of martial arts experience that I had as an apprentice and a student, and then I developed the Budo in 2004, so I ran my own martial art Ninjutsu and Samurai Bujutsu organization now for 14 years. And in the 14 years of me running my own organization, and in all the years that I was an apprentice and a student, I can tell you that every sparring match I ever seen, both people got hit. And right now, most of you guys are like, yeah, no shit. But think about that when it's on the street with no gloves and no headgear. Both people are going to get hit. And no matter shit how good you are, you're going to get hurt. If you're going to get into a fight, you're going to get into a good scrap, you're going to get hurt, even if you come out victorious. So the last thing you want to do is be hurt. The last thing you want to do is put yourself in a position to be injured to where you can't protect the ones that you love, or to protect what it is that you love. So yes, the original, the idea, the philosophy of the kanji bu is to prevent conflict or to deflect the spear. But its purpose and meaning is becoming a warrior and dedicated to war. And its understanding and practice in the modern day is to be highly skilled in the arts of war or violence, and as a good person to protect yourself, what you love, and who you love against bad people who are highly violent. So hopefully that answers all of you guys' questions when I got that, what's the meaning of bu? It's been, that has been a question in the past, and it's definitely been a very recent question from one of my students in our Budo online Ninjutsu dojo. This is one of the very first videos of me. Again, my name is Christa Jacobson. I'm the headmistress of the Budo. If you guys are interested in training in authentic ninjutsu and classical samurai bujutsu, please check out our website at www.budoninjutsu.com. There you can see all of our products, books, videos, downloads. You can see a list of our schools. If you don't live next to one of our schools, we do offer an online ninjutsu dojo. You can enroll and start your training today. If you guys did enjoy this video and you enjoy all my other videos, please go to the website, and if you would like to donate to the organization, that would be wonderful. It does take lots of time to be pumping videos every week on YouTube for all of you guys. So if you guys would like to donate to the cause, that would be absolutely wonderful. Please just go to our website at budoninjutsu.com, click where it says donations, and I would be very honored if anybody would do that. So thank you guys very much for all of your love and support. I deeply appreciate it. And until next time, take care, be safe, and good luck in your journey of Budo. Blessed be.